and welcome to the Omega Republics in the Spotlight podcast. I'm your host, Coppercap, once again joining you here on the Omega Republic here on this wonderful Saturday evening. You'll notice that the show has not been done live due to storms and internet issues, and I prefer not to just, you know, run it live and then have it cut out midstream. That is always the most annoying part. So I hope that you can enjoy the recording at least. Hopefully you'll find this on YouTube, and then later hopefully we can post it onto Spotify as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know that sounds a bit redundant, and I'm not forcing you guys to do anything you don't want to do. um, we do acknowledge the fact that this weekend is Vancouver, which we will be talking about later. So I understand if anybody is busy right now and doesn't feel like watching this at the moment. So, uh, we don't have anyone else joining me tonight, which is fine. So we will see what happens later on. Others might join me in midstream, so we will see how that goes. For now, we will discuss what we've got laid out in the news today. Starting off, let me get this icon a little bit out of the way here, and we can start this up. Now, before we begin, there are a few topics that might be just a little touchy right now, and not all these topics are up to date. So please take these with a grain of salt, and please, take in what you feel is the most up to date and most current and accurate. Please note that I am not responsible for any of these articles that we will be reading through tonight, and that each website will be shown up in the browser part of this. We of course will be using Google Chrome as our source manager, if you will. So please join me as we go through these topics here in just a little bit. Alrighty, I need to turn that on. Yes. Okay. The first topic we will be discussing, as you can see, is with the whole deal going on with Ukraine and Russia right now. We always forget our friends that are unable to speak to us directly and let us know that they're hurting or lost or anything like that. So we have to take heart that the fact that not only humans are being victimized throughout this, but also animals as well. But thankfully, this article leads into just a little bit of good news. Thankfully, there are several zoos in Ukraine right now that have been evacuated, and animals have been moved to Poland for safety purposes. Thankfully, we have not heard of any animals being injured directly, but I would imagine that there are a few casualties. So please keep all animals and humans in your hearts and your prayers, and make sure that just try to reach out to somebody who is being victimized throughout all this, and just try to comfort them the best you can. Because, I mean, we've all got to just work together and get through this. And I know that it's going to be better. I mean, hopefully things will get better really soon. And that this whole conflict or whatever it is that has been decided upon us, that it ends as soon as possible. And we can get back to semi-normal life. So, yeah, we do have animals that are being taken to let's see. Officials from the Zoo Panera in Poland told Newsweek, I do apologize, I know Newsweek's not everyone's favorites, today on March 1st that workers are currently waiting at the Polish border for the animals, which I'm hoping that the animals had already been moved at this point and the animals have arrived in Poland safely and are being taken care of properly. Um, we do hope that as many animals and people have escaped Ukraine and are safely, sanctioned and are in sanctuaries and into places where they can, rest, take it easy, and be secure from these attacks. All right, we can move on from that. Next up, we have an animal shelter with outdoor kennels to get 250,000 for a building. In and I do apologize if I butcher this name, In DeRidder, Louisiana, AP, I believe, a relationship that started with the former volunteer's message that the day Hurricane Laura slammed southwest Louisiana, bringing a $250,000 animal shelter to a parish that has gone through hurricanes and deep south heat with roofed chain link outdoor kennels. Construction is expected to begin this summer on a temperature controlled building with ample space for quarantine animals and for medical care, said Beauregard Parish Sheriff Mark Herford. That is a mouthful, and I do apologize if I butchered that. One person says, our animal control deputies have worked for years doing the best they could with what they had. Because of budgets, we have been constrained to one animal control deputy and one animal control truck for the entire parish. And Deputy Krista West has accomplished some incredible things despite the lack of resources. The money for the shelter came from the family-owned floor care company, Bissell Incorporated. Okay, everyone here is familiar with Bissell. Bissell being that vacuum that we've always used for years, floor cleaning products, etc. So it is amazing that they have stepped up and donated this to help this shelter, which takes care of abandoned, lost, and just forgotten animals that are trying to just barely survive off the streets, are brought into these kennels and try to take are trying to be taken care of as humane as possible. Um, so hopefully that will end up well for our furry friends here. So getting a well-funded building, getting proper facilities, larger storage facilities to care for more animals. That way, not as many of them have to be put down for reservation purposes. Okay, we will go ahead and move on from that. Next up, an even lighter side of the news, we have a tortoise that is 190 years old by documentation. And apparently, this guy here is still getting around, if you know what I'm saying. Jonathan the tortoise, named the world's oldest living land animal. Isn't that's crazy? Okay, we gotta think, 190 years old. Think about that. Okay, 100 years puts you back in 1920. 200 years is before the Civil War. This guy here has seen the Civil War, World War I, and World War II. Just to think about that. If these numbers are actually true, it is incredible to think of a tortoise, a land animal, being subjected and being, having witnessed all of this stuff here. It makes you wonder. It just makes you wish that animals could talk to us in some form or manner. Granted, there are some things that we prefer not to hear about from animals. Considering cats and dogs constantly having a way of waking us up at 2 or 3 in the morning for their food bowls or water bowls are empty. But 190 years old. Okay, so if we was to date that back 190, I'm gonna try to do my math as quickly as I can here. So let's see, if 100 and let's see 19, let's see 90, let's see 2, be 3, 3, 32, 1832. Is that right? 1832 is supposedly when this creature was born. 1832. What happened in 1832? Let's see. Andrew. Okay, this tortoise. That's incredible. This tortoise was born the year that Andrew Jackson was reelected president. Andrew flipping Jackson. Okay, I can't believe that. There's no way. It's so hard to grasp for something like that to have lived that long through that. You realize how many generations of just like dogs have lived since that time? If you figure a dog at most living to about 12 years, I mean, if you go 12 into 190, let's just say, um, well, no, I take that back. Let's just say the generation of a dog is about 5 years. Each generation of dog is bred every 5 years. Let's just say that. So we take 5 into 190. We get four, no, three, two, yeah, yeah, four, five, 16th, that'd be 60, 67. 67 generations of. No, I did that wrong. Yeah, no, I did that right. At least 67 generations of dogs have lived in the time that this tortoise has. 67 generations. And you got to think, there's been at least 8 generations of people that have lived in this time. 190 years. I hope you people can understand, we all understand and accept how precious our lives are, considering we lived an average to, you know, 70 to 90 years. Wide variety, depending health, factors and whatnot. Let's just say the average person lives about 75 years now. We are we consider our lives to be somewhat short in some aspects, and we consider our lives to be long in some aspects. When we're younger, life seems like it takes forever. But to think that, this guy has seen the sun rise and set 190 years. That's fascinating. It's incredible. It's beyond all description. So I hope you can appreciate that 190 years. Okay, I've rambled on enough to this. So hopefully we'll move on. 1 second here. All right. All right. Now, on to Vancouver. Right now, our beloved artist, Miss Mountain Soul, is in Vancouver, and hopefully you will catch her in or out of suit. She should be wandering around there somewhere, hopefully enjoying the conventions, meeting other people, kind of branching out there. So if you see Miss Soul there, give her give her a small wave, give her a hug, just tell her how awesome of an artist she is, because we couldn't have gotten this far without her. She has made each and every day wonderful and special here at the Omega Republic for all the artists and commissions she's done for us. So please know that we do appreciate her, and you better be nice to her, or we'll come after you. I mean it. We will. We'll hunt you down. We will break down your doors, and we will go at it, man. Fisticuffs, bare knuckle, bare knuckle boxing. It's gonna come to that. So I myself am not familiar with the Vancouver convention setup myself, as I've only been to Midwest Fur Fest. Um, so hopefully things will go smooth for her there. Um, Vancouver, of course, obviously is Canada. So hopefully all of our Canadian furs are having a wonderful time up there. Um, Staying safe, of course. Practicing, somewhat social distancing, keeping healthy, washing your hands. I mean, the whole pandemic thing has kind of thrown things out of whack for us lately. So just try to stay safe, be respectful of other people, whatnot. Um, if you're in Vancouver, if you've been to Vancouver and you're watching this now, feel free to comment below of anything specific that non-Vancouver goers wouldn't know about. Like any specific events that went on, any specific vendors that would only come up to Canada to display their wares, any artists or locations, feel free to comment below. I'd appreciate it. Alrighty, thank you so much. And we're moving on to the last topic for now. We're trying to keep this short and sweet tonight. Alright, on to the brony side of things. we have heard recently about a little bit of a side series similar to Pony Life series coming this April to YouTube apparently. Don't know if uh any other what's the word of stations, apps, streaming services. There we go. I don't know of any other streaming services that will support this right now. I assume Hulu will pick this up or Disney Plus, depending on who owns Hasbro at this point. But it's called uh, Live in Maritime Bay. Our our main five, if you will, have taken to the stage for these little tales, these little side tales, if you will, similar to Pony Life, I can assume, just based on the artwork, which was derived from what we've seen of Teen Titans Go. We've seen that artwork there, and then of course we've seen Pony Life, which had this kind of not really chibi, but very childish, very kind of more basic art style, which gives it more of a humorous and just more light-hearted version of our beloved ponies. So hopefully we get a chance to see more of this down the road, more commercials, more into just more information that will include us into exactly what they're planning to do with this short series before the main series is even released. And main was not a pun. It wasn't intended as a pun, but it could be considered a pun, I suppose. It's nice to see our characters are still moving forward with the series, and then it wasn't just going to be just the movie and the main series eventually in the future. We hope that the main series that will be hopefully be eventually released later on this summer, I believe, I think is what I heard, will be released in an animation style that is befitting this new generation, both literal and figurative. Um, Looking at the artwork, let's see if we can get the closer up of this. I'll pull this up so you guys can get a better look at it. There. Okay, as you can see, we have Zip, Sunny, we have hmm, you know, I think they're taking the whole. It really her hair really does look like Crest toothpaste Zip's hair. And that smile on Pip. I mean, it's cute, but it's isn't that the smile of a murderer? Would you say that's a smile of a murderer? I don't know if I would say that's a smile of a murderer. Izzy's hair is just like all over the place, and I love it. Izzy is adorable, no matter what shape or form she's in. I would say even if she was, say, a character in the anime Death Note, she'd probably still be adorable. But we noticed one thing with Sunny's hair. As we saw a transformation at the end of the New Generation movie, and now we see this with her hair. Has she unlocked, like, is there like stages of alicornness that she has to go through, considering she's only an Earth pony? She doesn't understand magic at all. She understands the magic of friendship, but unlike Twilight, Celestia, Luna, and Cadence, she has no previous access to magic. So just because we've seen her turn into we'll call it a hollow alicorn, does that mean that she is unable to achieve the alicorn powers? It'd be interesting to see where they go with this. And if this little 5-minute episode series hints a little more at it, or if this series is just going to be completely, off canon. Granted, it will be canon from. I'm assuming this will be canon after the end of the New Generation movie, but won't be canon for the series itself. Hmm. Hitch Hitch kind of has that Kronk jaw. Yeah, it's all coming together. I mean, look at that Hitch. Hitch jaw. I don't know why I said it like that. I do apologize. I'm slipping over my words tonight. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, so I mean, between everything that we see here, we can hope for that. We know that there'll be a level of comedy, and unlike Pony Life, we do have a stronger body structure. Instead of the really big gargantuan heads and the teeny tiny bodies that you would see for like those little marshmallow size, figurines at the stores, we do have a little bit more detail here. It's kind of a hybrid between Pony Life and Generation 4. So hopefully that'll move forward. All right. Well, if you have any thoughts, comments, or questions that you would like to add for this review and for this, news podcast of In the Spotlight, feel free to leave some comments below, and hopefully we can answer them as quickly as possible. Uh, like I said, eventually I will post this audio. I might not post this audio to Spotify as, without visual aid, it's a little bit hard to follow. But I do thank you for joining us here on the Omega Republics In the Spotlight. And, once again, hopefully we can get back on track with this and beginning to do this at least once a month again, because we really appreciate our followers, and you guys have stuck with us. A lot of you have stuck with us since the very beginning, and we appreciate having you on board. So hopefully we can get back to making regular content just to help entertain you guys and just to help keep your minds flowing and growing at the same time. We're not the most educational people here, and we're not the most smartest people either. But hopefully we help you and enlighten you more to what the furry fandom and the brony fandom is about. That we're not just about certain aspects, or that, we're not just a bunch of people that dress up in costumes. We are people that, try to look at life in a different way. Trying to accept life for what it is, but at the same time adjusting to it in the form that we want ourselves to be. So, continue to grow, laugh, love, and know the fandom that you're in, and hopefully we'll see you here again on the Omega Republic. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend.